So, pull up a stool and let me tell you about, frankly, the most beautifully ridiculous, over-engineered death trap in human history.
A bold claim for a Tuesday night?
I mean it. Usually when you think of a military ambush, you picture, like, camouflage, right?
Sure, a pit covered in leaves.
Yeah, or archers holding their breath in the tree line. The foundational principle is that you never see it coming.
Right, the element of surprise.
Exactly. But tonight, for this deep dive, we are cracking open a translated excerpt from a traditional Chinese storytelling script. It's called Pingshu.
Which is essentially the ancient equivalent of a gripping one-man podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Just a storyteller in a bustling tea house, keeping audiences on the edge of their seats.
Lots of exaggerated martial arts, high-stakes political drama, intricate military strategy.
Right. And our mission tonight is to take this ancient text and translate it into modern terms for you, so you can understand exactly how a ragtag heist crew dismantled an ultimate ancient superweapon.
Sounds like a movie.
It totally plays out like one. So, we are stepping into the dying days of the Sui dynasty.
Things are not going well.
Understatement of the century.
Yeah.
The emperor, Yang Guang, is a totally corrupt, tyrannical disaster of a ruler. I mean, he is running his sprawling empire straight into the ground.
The classic terrible CEO?
Yes, but despite being a terrible boss, he retains one ultimate loyalist, this towering figure named Yang Lin.
Widely known as the Backer King.
Right, the Backer King. And Yang Lin decides to build a trap to wipe out the colossal coalition of rebels trying to overthrow the government.
But he doesn't hide it.
No, his trap does not rely on surprise at all. It is the most glaring, flashing neon sign of a trap ever conceived. And somehow, every single rebel leader in the country falls for it anyway.
It is a textbook case study in psychological warfare.
Yeah.
A trap built entirely out of human ego.
Oh man, let's break down that psychology before we even look at the battlefield.
Just set the scene.
So the Sui dynasty is fracturing. There are 18 different rebel factions referred to as the anti-Sui kings.
And they are carving the country into pieces.
Right. So Yang Lin needs to wipe them out in one stroke. He engineers what he dramatically calls the extinction plan.
Subtle.
Very. He sends out formal invitations to all 18 rebel kings. The pitch is simple. He says, hey, I am hosting a grand martial arts tournament in the city of Yangzhou.
And the prize?
Whoever wins gets crowned the champion of the rebels. And the prize is the recognized right to rule the world.
Think about the structural reality of putting down a rebellion for a second.
Okay, lay it on me.
Decentralized, chaotic insurgencies are a logistical nightmare for a conventional, heavy military to fight.
Right, you're playing an impossible game of whack-a-mole across an entire continent.
Exactly. The Sui army does not have the supply lines or the mobility to hunt down 18 different guerrilla forces hiding in their respective territories.
I mean, I understand the logistics of wanting them in one place, but from a practical standpoint, it sounds absurd.
How so?
Imagine a supervillain inviting every rival superhero to an active volcano for a spelling bee.
And expecting them to show up.
Yeah. I mean, the rebels aren't foolish. They have scouts, they have spies, they know Yangzhou is a fortress, and this is a blatant setup.
Logic dictates they should ignore the invitation.
But they don't.
No, because ego dictates otherwise. If you are one of those rebel kings, your entire authority relies on projecting absolute power.
So if you refuse to show up, you look weak.
Worse. If your fiercest rival shows up and claims the title of champion, your own followers might defect.
Oh, wow. So imagine you are one of these 18 rebel kings. You are staring at this invitation. You know Yang Lin wants you dead.
But the fear of missing out is stronger.
The ultimate FOMO, the fear of someone else taking the crown, is stronger than your sense of self-preservation.
They literally cannot stomach the idea of a rival winning.
So they pack their bags, they mobilize their entire armies, and they march to Yangzhou. They literally do the Backer King's logistical work for him.
By exploiting their fragile pride and bitter internal rivalries, Yang Lin forces a highly decentralized threat into a predictable, localized bottleneck.
It's genius, really.
But the tournament inside the city walls is merely the bait. It gets all the combatants into one geographical arena.
Right, because the tournament itself is not the weapon. The real threat is waiting for them right outside the city walls.
The lobby versus the actual trap?
Yeah, the tournament is just the lobby. The actual trap, the instrument designed to annihilate whatever is left of the rebel armies once they finish bleeding each other dry, is called the Bronze Flag Array.
The apex defensive structure of the Sui military.
Right.
An area denial system operating on an industrial scale.
I was looking at the translation of this structure, and the mechanics of this denial are just brutal.
Describe it.
It is a towering, multi-story bronze flagpole right at the center of the battlefield. Radiating outward from it are interlocking layers of heavy infantry, elite archers, and hidden mechanical traps.
Anyone who walks into this zone gets shredded.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you charge in with 1,000 troops or 10,000 troops, you step into the array, and the perimeter seals behind you.
It's a meat grinder.
Honestly, it sounds like a giant, deadly medieval pinball machine where the bumpers have swords.
That's actually a fairly accurate assessment.
Wait, from a military logic standpoint, isn't a giant, shiny flagpole just a massive target?
It seems counterintuitive to modern eyes, yes.
I mean, why base your entire defense around a flagpole? If I want to obliterate an advancing army, I am not building a beacon for them to march toward.
You have to strip away the theatricality of the ancient text and look at the underlying combat logic.
Okay, what am I missing?
The bronze flag is a C2 hub,
A C2 hub.
a command and control center.
Oh,
In a pre-radio era, coordinating thousands of troops, adjusting archer trajectories, and triggering complex mechanical traps requires flawless, instantaneous communication.
so it's like a central server room for the battlefield.
Exactly. That towering bronze flag provides absolute visual and acoustic synchronization.
Right, because everyone can see it.
The text describes mechanisms within the flag itself. Mirrors reflecting sunlight to signal formations, colored pennants dropping to dictate troop movements.
And massive internal gongs keeping the rhythm of the battle.
Right. The heavy infantry acts as the anvil, using enormous bronze shields that spring from the earth to box the enemy into confined kill zones.
While the elite archers act as the hammer.
Raining down suppression fire the exact moment the flags signal the enemy is trapped.
So the array's tripwires deploy those shields, funneling the rebel cavalry straight into heavily armored Sui pikemen.
And the flag tells everyone exactly when to swing the hammer.
Wow.
It is a highly synchronized, rigid system. Picture a giant clockwork mechanism where the soldiers are the gears.
So as long as everything moves in perfect rhythm, it is invincible.
The synchronization is the source of its lethality. However,
There's always a however.
as with any over-engineered system, its greatest strength creates a profound structural vulnerability.
Let me guess. If you break the server, the troops go blind.
Spot on. The bronze flag array is a static, inflexible structure. It relies entirely on perfection and predictability.
And war is rarely predictable.
Exactly. If an adversary can somehow disrupt that central C2 hub, if they can introduce an unpredictable variable into those interlocking gears,
The whole thing jams up.
the entire defensive structure will collapse under its own weight. A rigid machine cannot adapt to dynamic chaos.
And chaos is exactly what the rebels bring to the party.
They excel at it.
Yeah, they do. While the majority of the rebel kings are busy fighting in the tournament and falling into the perimeter traps, one specific group realizes what's actually going on.
The Wagang army.
The Wagan army. And the way they dismantle this bronze flag array reads less like a standard medieval battle and more like the script of an elite heist movie.
In modern terms, they execute a perfect combined arms breach.
Okay, break that down for me.
They do not just throw wave after wave of infantry at the problem. They layer their attacks to break the system itself.
So the Wagan heroes look at this immense, terrifying machine, and they realize they need a specialized crew.
They pull off a historic cross-team collaboration.
Yeah, uniting the surviving rebel factions. And they assign very specific squad roles to crack the uncrackable vault.
Which requires absolute discipline, a rare trait for a coalition built entirely out of competing egos.
Right. Okay, so let's break down the crew. First, you have the mastermind, the quarterback of the operation. His name is King Chong.
The strategist.
Yeah. He steps up to the command tent, looks at all these incredibly arrogant rebel leaders, and just lays down the law.
He tells them they have to unite immediately or they will all die in the dirt today.
And he establishes the strategy. He recognizes they cannot fight the soldiers, they have to hit the hub.
He identifies the systemic weakness. The objective is not attrition. The objective is the central mechanism.
But to get to the center, you need someone to smash the front door.
Enter the wrecking ball.
Yes. A warrior named Cheng Yaojin, famously known as the Demon King.
A fitting title.
This guy has zero interest in finesse. He charges straight into the front lines of the Sui heavy armor, dual-wielding 3 devastating axes.
Just pure brute force.
He just starts carving through the infantry, making a terrifying amount of noise, shattering shields, and causing intense localized destruction.
Cheng Yojin's role is purely tactical distraction. He is providing shock and awe.
Right.
If you think about it in video game mechanics, he is pulling the aggro.
Oh, I love that.
By violently assaulting one specific outer layer of the heavy infantry, he forces the synchronization of the array to react to him.
So he is literally kicking the vending machine to make the computer glitch.
Exactly. He throws the clockwork off its rhythm. The heavy infantry breaks formation to deal with the Demon King.
And the archers adjust their firing arcs to target him.
The mechanical traps trigger prematurely in the chaos. By making the machine glitch, he creates a momentary structural gap in the defense.
A fleeting window of opportunity.
Which brings us to the third member of the crew.
The precision scalpel. His name is Luo Chang. The text describes him as a cold-faced warrior wielding a silver spear.
While Cheng Yaojin is out on the perimeter causing a bloody, chaotic distraction, Luo Chang is watching the gears turn.
He sees the heavy infantry shift. He sees the gap open up.
And he ignores the outer defenses entirely.
He shoots through that opening like a silver missile.
No wasted movements.
He dodges the descending bronze shields, he evades the archer volleys, and he drives his horse straight toward the center,
bypassing the anvil and the hammer.
striking directly at the base of the towering bronze flag. And with a single devastating thrust of his spear, he shatters the internal mechanical hub holding the structure together.
The C2 center is destroyed.
Boom!
The immediate result is total systemic failure.
The communication fails, the gongs stop ringing, the traps jam up.
The heavy infantry suddenly has no idea where to move or who to target.
And the giant, towering bronze flag, the absolute symbol of the Sui dynasty's invincible defense, comes crashing down into the dust with an earth-shattering boom.
It is a profound lesson in asymmetrical warfare.
How so?
A dynamic, specialized team utilizing targeted collaboration will consistently shatter a static, overly complex defensive structure.
Right, because the Sui army relied on the rigid perfection of their machine.
And the Wagan coalition relied on human adaptability to break that mechanical rigidity.
The ultimate underdog victory. The vault is cracked, the trap is sprung, but the prey smash their way out.
But the adrenaline fades quickly here.
Yeah, it does. The smoke clears, and the tone of the Pingshu text shifts dramatically.
We have to address what happens to the architect of this trap when his masterpiece fails.
The backer king, old Yang Lin.
The mastermind left with nothing.
So the array is in ruins. Sui army is completely routing, scattering in every direction just to save their own lives.
The empire is officially doomed.
And the text paints this incredibly somber cinematic picture of the aftermath.
What does it look like?
The sun is setting, the battlefield is covered in yellow dust and wreckage, and standing completely alone in the center of it all is old Yang Lin.
Just waiting.
His hair is white. He is covered in wounds. He is holding his signature weapon, these massive iron rods called the Water and Fire Prism Dragon Clubs.
Heavy, brutal weapons.
And he is just standing there, watching his entire life's work turn to ash.
He is a man who has outlived his own era.
It is a genuinely heartbreaking scene, because Qin Kuang, the quarterback of the rebel heist, actually views Yang Lin as an adoptive father.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's deep, complex history between them. So Qin Kuang rides up to the old general, tears in his eyes, and begs him to surrender.
He offers him an out.
He tells him it's over, that he doesn't have to die for a broken empire.
But Yang Lin refuses.
He does.
Yeah.
He essentially says, I built this empire with my own hands. If the empire dies today, I die with it.
A tragic manifestation of institutional loyalty.
He charges alone into the rebel blades, swinging his iron clubs until he is finally cut down.
A brutal end.
As a modern reader, it is almost infuriating, isn't it?
In what way?
Well, Yang Lin is clearly a brilliant guy. He's a strategic genius. He knows his emperor is a corrupt, terrible ruler who is ruining the realm.
Yes, he does.
So why die for him? Why not just drop the clubs, switch sides, join the Wagang heroes, and live to see tomorrow?
You are separating the man from the institution.
Right.
For Yang Lin, there is no separation. Look at what he actually represents in this narrative.
Okay.
He is not just an old soldier following orders. He is the physical embodiment of the Sui dynasty's legitimacy.
So he is the central pillar holding up the roof.
He is the load-bearing wall of the government.
Mm-hmm.
Notice the metaphor the ancient storyteller is using here.
With the flag.
Yes. The immense bronze flag falls, and immediately after, Yang Lin falls. They are identical concepts.
Oh, I see it. The flag was the mechanical center of the army.
And Yang Lin is the spiritual and structural center of the empire.
Wow.
When he dies, the spine of the dynasty is definitively broken. His death is not just a casualty of war, it is the formal transfer of power.
He goes down with the sinking ship because he is the ship.
It serves as a brutal historical lesson for the listener.
Incredible individual competence, even genius-level strategic planning, cannot save a structurally rotten foundation.
Exactly. Yang Lin could build the greatest array in the world. He could manipulate the massive egos of 18 different rebel armies.
But he couldn't fix the fact that the emperor he served had already lost the mandate to rule.
The rot was at the core, and no amount of brilliant engineering could shore it up.
So, what does all of this mean for you listening to this today? What is the takeaway from a centuries-old story about a giant bronze flagpole and a heist crew?
I'd say there are a few key lessons here.
I think it boils down to a few really sharp truths. First, ego will walk you right into a trap.
Every time.
If you let your pride dictate your actions, if you are terrified of looking weak or letting a rival win, you will do your enemy's logistical work for them, just like those 18 kings.
Second, over-engineered systems always have a vulnerable hub.
Complexity does not equal security.
Right. Extreme complexity often creates extreme fragility. If you build your defense on rigid perfection, you leave yourself entirely vulnerable to adaptable chaos.
And finally, true power comes from putting aside your internal rivalries to execute a unified, targeted strike.
The Wagang heroes didn't win because they had superior numbers.
No, they won because they trusted each other enough to play their specific roles.
The wrecking ball made the noise, drawing the heat, so the scalpel could slip through and make the fatal cut.
A triumph of dynamic collaboration over a static hierarchy.
Well said.
But as we empty our glasses tonight, I want to leave you with a lingering thought, a question to mull over as you head out.
What's that?
The Wagang rebels pulled off an absolute miracle. They united their chaotic factions to break an unbreakable machine.
But they only did it because they were facing a terrifying common enemy in Yang Lin and his bronze flag array.
Right. A shared existential threat is a very powerful unifier.
Highly motivating.
But now, the array is smashed into scrap metal. The Backer King is dead in the dirt. The Sui dynasty is effectively finished.
The threat is gone.
So, what happens tomorrow? How long can a sprawling coalition of massive egos actually survive once the monster that forced them to work together isn't there anymore?
History tells us not long at all.
Yeah. The text hints that this magnificent victory is just the beginning of a whole new kind of chaos, paving the way for the eventual bloody rise of the Tang dynasty.
A different kind of battlefield.
But that is a story for another night. Thanks for pulling up a stool and joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
Stay curious, watch your step, and try not to walk into any obvious traps.
Yeah.
Good night.